Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Dojo Live. It's Monday, April 5th, 2021. This is the recap show where we recap last week's conversation inside of 10 minutes. So we had 4 shows last week. Let's get it. All right. Welcome to the recap, guys. I've got Kim Lantes in Hermosillo, Mexico, Carlos
Hey.
Ponce in Cuernavaca, Mexico. Partners in crime.
Cheers.
I don't know what crime we're committing, but we're partners in crime. In any
Hopefully none.
case, none, exactly. So we had 4 shows. I'm going to just read them out, and then we'll just pick one, whichever one resonated with you.
Okay.
We had Headwinds Facing the Banking Industry with Steve Andrews, who's the president and CEO of Western Bankers Association. That was on Wednesday morning. The Heart of Live Streaming, Making People Part of the Experience with Sam Brenner, who's the COO at BoxCast. And then we had Recreating the Watercooler Talk for the Remote Office with Patrick Burns, who's the co-founder at Commons. And finally, Talent Marketplaces of the Future with Adam Jackson, who's the CEO at BrainTrust. Which one, who wants to go first with one of the shows? Kim, which one did you like?
Sure. I did not get a chance to co-host along with you, but I did watch The Heart of Live Streaming, Making People Part of the Experience with Sam Brenner, COO at BoxCast. And I really like this. I think when he spoke about heart, that's really what it is. I think it just, like, from what I understand, BoxCast makes streaming simpler, right? With user experience in mind, so that anyone and everyone all across who might have a need for live streaming can do so. I know they mentioned even, simple things like a church service or the ability to watch a kid's soccer game, live, which is especially applicable in today's environment with the pandemic. But the heart element, I think it was really great. He talked about a use case where they actually helped a little girl on sort of a Make-A-Wish sort of concept, where she was able to participate with a college softball team and do that via streaming. And sorry, kids. And so when we try to keep, I think, the heart of live streaming, what it's for, the use cases that are out there, it's phenomenal. Just kind of going back to what we've had in mind all along, the user experience and the creativity of use cases all across the board and all kinds of businesses and applications that exist.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing the technology today. You could basically have TV broadcast abilities at your fingertips. That's really what the platform is for. It's a one-to-many instead of the typical Zoom one-to-one. Okay, What else? Carlos, what did you like?
Yeah, definitely. I gotta confess, the conversation we had with Commons, well, not with Commons, but with Patrick Burns, its co-founder of Commons. And the thing that I really digged about this particular platform was how the ability to make the how do you say this, the mingling experience, the experience of just being in touch with your fellow teammates and coworkers in a non-conventional manner, like these other platforms like
Small
Zoom.
talk.
Yeah,
It's
just
the tap on the
quick
shoulder.
chat.
It's the tap
Yeah,
on the
it's a-
shoulder chat. Hey,
It's
buddy,
a tap on the shoulder type of chat, and I think that the moment that it's going to be perfect, the moment where you can actually go beyond just the voice and the video and the avatars and the cool visual features, and you can step into things a little bit more sophisticated technology, like being able to taste a sip of wine or things and just share it. That'll be it. That'll be the moment. But I guess that it's a refreshing. I found it very refreshing, to say the least, because yes, granted, tools like Zoom and Google Meet, it's a great for official types of communications, or but this this thing about just watching a cool avatar cartoon style and just hearing the voice in a casual way, it's very refreshing. And I think a lot of companies out there that so allow it or enable it should at least give it a try and just make the workplace more human.
Yeah,
So
like
I
a
liked it a lot.
virtual walkie-talkie where you can hang out and chill and be like, "Hey, what did you think of last night's movie?" It was great.
I think it's
Yeah.
got a lot of potential if they also build in some AI elements that actually triggers two people connecting randomly. That would be kind of cool based on interests. But the fact that they're thinking about this is fantastic. Then we had talent marketplaces, the future with Adam Jackson.
Adam Jackson, yeah.
The future of talent marketplaces with Adam Jackson of BrainTrust. Interesting conversation with them about they're not the traditional for-profit type company. They're actually more like a platform that really connects individuals with the demands of companies, and they facilitate those arrangements, but don't necessarily make a margin or a percentage on the transaction. They make money actually from the actual users themselves, the gig economy workers themselves. So as a result of that, those gig economy workers are also the owners of the platform. So it's based on a tokenized idea on a blockchain, which means everyone has equal say and vote to make changes so that they actually are in charge of their own destiny, versus the traditional, the Fiverr or Upworks, great platforms, but someone's dictating the plan, how it's going, making all the rules and decisions. Whereas in this environment, it's democratized, so everyone has a say and has participation. There's a co-ownership element to it that really feeds the need for people to have that sense of independence and entrepreneurship, the solopreneur, if you will, that don't like to just give up, their own fate. So in essence, it's a cooperative, I guess the best way to describe it, of people who want to own the outcomes of their future, their career.
Yeah,
So
and I think it's like more
congratulations for
accessible,
creating that.
right? More
Yeah.
accessible for smaller, like you said, individual smaller businesses to do things that they might not otherwise have been able to do quite yet in the game.
Exactly. All right. Then we also had one more show that was Headwinds Facing the Banking Industry. That was with Steve Andrews, who's the president and CEO of Western Bankers Association. I co-hosted that with Ram Ganesan. It was an interesting conversation about the future of banking and some of the challenges that they're facing. Margins are constantly becoming razor thin, and regulation makes it difficult for them to be competitive. So it's not all peaches and cream ahead for the banking industry. And unless you're a large bank, you don't have the resources to compete. And if you're a small bank, you have the ability to be nimble, but you don't have the resources to deal with the regulatory challenges. So you're kind of in a catch-22 in that industry, which requires ongoing reinvention, disruption, and change in order for them to be agile and nimble. So, with headwinds also come opportunity, but those opportunities are basically reserved for those who can move fast and can adapt to the needs of the marketplace. We'll see how that plays out, but it's always interesting to learn the challenges certain industries face where they could be nimble and agile. They've invested tremendously in technology innovation, but yet they face so much regulation that it makes it really difficult for them to continue to compete and thrive. So, good luck to the banking industry. Keep innovating, finding new ways. There's always opportunities for the newcomers to figure out a way to disrupt that. But interesting show nonetheless. All right, what do we got coming up this week? I think we have a shorter week this week than we usually do.
Tulio. We have 2 interviews. Tomorrow, we'll be speaking with Ricardo Regalado, the principal of Route, which is on online tracking platform. And also on Thursday, we're going to be speaking with Bruce Licharwick. I hope I pronounce it right, and if not, please bear with me. The president and CEO of Galen Robotics, and the topic is going to be digital surgery as a service, the future of surgical robotics.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be that's going to be interesting. Okay.
That's
Stop
interesting.
impeding on Tulio. He's the one who gets to murder the last man.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right.
So that's all we have, guys.
See you back on Tuesday. See you back tomorrow, 12 noon.